All right, Doc here from North America, and got bit by the time change. So obviously, I should have been broadcasting like I should have been on webinar 27 minutes ago. Robin had to call me and remind me. I was like, oh, right, time change. I forgot all about that. I just was doing my thing, not thinking about it. But anyway, I was looking at the computers and thinking, okay, 8:30 comes along, Eastern Standard Time, and I will, be doing my thing. But obviously, I was wrong, so I'll just go all the way to 9 o'clock today, and then tomorrow I will remember and start at the hour earlier. So there we go. Hey, Robin. What picture is it possible to see? I'm not on there yet. I'm not up there fully yet. I don't think. Let me see. No, that's odd. I wonder what I can do to make it better. Let's see. What can I do? I don't know where he's at. That's a good question. Let me go text him and see what he's doing. Yep. All right. Bye-bye. All right. Anyhow, I am there, and Robin's saying that the screen is really foggy. Let me double check and see what's going on here. Let's see if I can get a hold of Giannis or somebody there. There we are. And, we're looking at the dollar index, and obviously we're on a third day down in the dollar index. So finally, oh, actually, second day down in the dollar index. Is that right? Let's see, which one is it? Let me put it up over here, too, at the same time. And the dollar index is just, you can see on our beta platform there. And you can see on J4X, it's 3 days in a row of red now. Let's see, where are we? Dollar index, dollar index. There we are. And so there, and yeah, it's a second day on the downside here when it comes to the both the beta and let's show you the old platform that we're still using right here. See, that's the second day of it. You can see it closed in a weekly sell, which was cool. We finally, after what's that, 2.5 months, closing in a weekly sell. So we should see some pressure. I mean, interest rates have made a dramatic shift here in the States. So, we're looking at this, and remind me later. There we are. And so we're looking at interest rates dropping, and that's making, obviously the pairs trades sell the dollar and buy the whatever pair it is. Even now, the Swiss, the Swiss has also. Yo, Robin.
I sent you a screenshot of what it looks like.
Okay, let's see. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see if we can find that. Is that an email or is that Facebook?
Email.
Oh, email. Okay, let me go hunt that down. All right. And so let me just take a peek.
And it's not everywhere. It's just us or you. I've looked around. Everything else seems clean.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Interesting.
You can't see it.
No, I can see it. Yeah, I can see how cloudy it looks.
You can't really see what's going on.
Yeah, it looks cloudy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing else on my computer's like that. So
Yeah.
It's not me.
No, I hear you.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. So, where did I leave off? Oh, yeah. So, is anybody else out there having a cloudy situation where you can't see the charts? I see them partially. It just they look like I guess there's. I wonder if I can change the. Let's see. If I go to settings, maybe we can adjust the string. See, start virtual camera, studio mode settings. Is there? Like, let's see, is it there? Transition, quick transaction. Let's see, fade. Let's see if this does something. You can't tell if that does or doesn't. See. I can't tell. Let me try doing this. Go back to that. All right, let's try this again. I can't tell if that does anything. All right, what we're going to do is fade. See, fade to black, cut, fade. All right, see if that helps any. 400 ms. I guess I'm not sure. Let's see. Hi. Let's try this again. Hi. Sorry for being late. There we are. Time change tricked me. There we are. There we go. Time change. Of clock. There we are. All right, and we'll try to get that working at the same time. The waiting for Janos or someone to come in and explain why it is a little fuzzy. Robin took a picture of it, and it does look a little fuzzy there. Let's see if we can go like that. Let's see if we can make this bigger or something, maybe. Maybe that helps too, like that. And, you know, what we're seeing here this morning is that, again, the currencies are picking up some steam, you know, finally lifting up. I think we've seen a couple of them. Let's take a look and see. I think we saw the euro. Let's go to the euro. Yeah, the euro made it into the weekly buy last week. So, you know, that time change, the time change, you know, shift in interest rates have helped keep a lot of these products lifting up, and that's normally the way it goes. Let's just take another quick look. Let's see. Let's go over to on J4X. We'll put up the euro from there. Let's see, euro. There it is. And the euro doing the same thing. You know, on the J4X, you can see it lifting up, and then we have it over here on on the old platform, same thing, lifting up. There's strength there. The weekly's in a buy. You know, I'm sure that I think it was 2 weeks when it came to the euro. Let's see. Let's put a weekly in there on the J4X. I thought they were showing it. Yeah, this is going into a third week for them. That's what it comes down to. There's been some buying coming on. You know, there was a lot. I noticed that on my charts when we looked at it over the weekend, there was a great amount of anticipation of strength coming in many ways. I think I saw it in the was it a couple of different products. Let's see if we can minimize that and go over to here. Let's see if we can find the 6E right there. And yes, there it is. It shows it there too. No, I get maybe not. That's just showing 2 weeks there on our beta. But I saw it in other products that were lifting up. You can see it there, and you can see that strength. It's good to see the markets start to show some life again. It's come up to the 107 area. What do we call it? I think we labeled this on the dollar index, maybe the Mountain West top. That's what we call it, the Mountain West top. And I guess let's take a look at cable. Cable doing the same thing, and even the Euro GBP, the cable's lifting stronger in that. And you can see here on the cable pairs trade right there. See that strength kicking up there, See it over here. We'll go back to the daily. But they're all starting to kick in. We're starting to see the strength here. And like I said, the most important thing is to start to see the interest rates shift again. That with them shifting in the lower rates, there's a lot of weakness out there. Someone was explaining on one of the financial shows this morning that the Biden administration is saying that they created 14 million new jobs, but the workforce only reflects over the last 3 years 150,000 more people. That's it, working in it. So in other words, 13,850,000 are missing. So you can't say that you've increased the workforce by 14 million when statistically the only thing that's increased is by 150,000. And so, there's a lot of confusion with the Bidenomics, and from the bottom up or in the middle center or whatever they call it. It's obviously not working very well. But that's the way, that's the way a free market and free people are supposed to function. We're supposed to be able to see all points, and then you see which one you like and which one you don't like. That's what it really comes down to. And so there's the cable there. Moving over to the cable to the Swiss. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Swiss is doing. See, now the last 3 days the Swiss has, or you could say basically 4 days there, has been moving back down. It's kind of joined in with the other pairs trades. That was kind of a surprise. I guess that's that combination of the Japanese yen and the Swiss franc, but neither of them were participating for over a week. Took a little while. And, and many times you go and look at, like the Chinese yuan, that fixed unit that they convert currencies at. Sometimes that doesn't budge at all. They don't know to budget, and they don't know that they're supposed to move it. They're a communist nation, so they're not really currency savvy, I guess you could say. And you can see there it is, right? Is that it? That's it, yeah. So you can see right there, the last couple of days, it's gaining. Someone woke them up to the fact. There are times where, you don't see that, which is interesting, and it makes me giggle. It's kind of funny that they do that stuff. Sometimes some happens with the Japanese yen to some extent too. Once in a while, these central banks that have such a grip on their currency, they don't adjust them. They forget to adjust them. They just leave them as is, and then someone finally wakes up and says, "Hey, you got to adjust that. It's out of whack." We saw that with the transitory situation when the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Treasury back a couple years ago kept on saying for a year, almost 15 months, they kept on saying inflation is transitory. It's not going anywhere. It's just being a little noisy at the moment. And next thing you know, it goes from 1.4 to 10%. Our inflation leaps, sevenfold. It's like, wow. And so then all of a sudden you see the Chinese yuan get adjusted out of nowhere. It's like, it's like someone forgot to tell somebody to make it look like it's floating, like a floating currency when it's not. All right, so let's get back to where we left off, and that is the Swiss franc. Yeah, Swiss franc is doing a good thing here. It's trying to play, it's moving down with the rest of the currencies. And let's see what the weekly looks like on that. There's the weekly. And it's been trying to go down for weeks. You can see that there. And the same thing up on the screen here. It went into the weekly sell right there. And as much as it went into the daily buy here, but the weekly sell here on this week, and it traded through it all, and now we've gone back into the sell here, and we're in a daily sell. So it's very safe now to be trading that side of the trend. Right there. There's that red line for it. And what's interesting is you can see here the fast is trying to. What's that? Trying to get through the zero line. That's the interesting one. Let's put that zero line in there for you. And you can see there, I'm not sure what this is all about. We're coming to the end of the year. I keep on waiting for somebody to size something up so that they can flatten it out. Get their longs in order and their shorts in order, and get the loans cleaned up before the end of the year. That's what I think's going on. I think the story, we're going to see what the story is probably in a couple of weeks. We're seeing the price action now, but we're going to see the story. There's going to be some story to come out. It may be part of that Credit Suisse situation over the last year. They still may owe money. I don't know. It could be anything like that. But something tells me we will end up seeing some type of swap with the U.S. Federal Reserve and the Bank of Switzerland itself. The federal bank, their Federal Reserve, their Treasury Department. Something will come along. We'll see it. It'll happen. It'll spit out somewhere along the line. All right. So from there, we slide over to, where do we go from there? We go over to the Japanese yen and see what the yen is up to. And there it is right there. They've done the same thing as the Swiss and all the rest of the currency pairs. They've backed off of the 152 area, flirting with that 45-year high. And unfortunately, I notice here the weekly does not seem to be letting go. So it's still in that weekly buy from this area in here. And, right there, you see the signal there. And then, we've gone in and out. And it's been good buys now. Here's the very first one that really hurt out of, like, all the wins. You got a win there. You had a win there. There was a really good win there. There was an okay win there. There was a okay win there. And it was the first real very little chance to gain from it. So he took an actual loss, gave up. So it's that 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. 6 buy signals, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 of them were winners, and we're seeing that weakness now in the yen. Maybe it'll bottom again and do that weird thing, and then all of a sudden turn back up and go break the 45-year high. It got very close a couple of days ago, and not sure what that's really trying to scream and tell us. But one thing we do know is that the yen is having a hard time getting its, getting into the bullish side. In other words, instead of it trading at 151 or 150. Right there, we're at 149.83, so it's backing off a little bit. But are we really going to go see like 142 again? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, and it's gaining. Remember, the yen, as it goes up, it's losing against the dollar, and like you can see the last couple of days there, as it's moving down, it's gaining against the dollar. And so that's the that is the challenge of it all. All right, and from there, I saw a really interesting headline this morning. Let me see if I can pick it up, put it up on the screen. It was about Turkish lira. It wasn't about the lira per se. It was about the inflation in Turkey. We talk about this, and we're watching the explosion. I guess that's the best way to point it out. And let's see, we'll find it in a second. They're saying Turkey has 160% inflation. I should have saved that. I felt so bad about it that I didn't want to even save it. I just like, ugh. There it is. Turkey is sustaining major inflation. Here it comes. There it is right there. Sustaining major inflation. No matter the destruction to the Turkish lira, money keeps pouring into peninsula real estate, watercraft, and businesses. And according to statistics by the Turkish Statistical Institute, the average property price in Bodrum in 2021 was around $490 per square foot. And over this past summer, let's see if we can find what it jumped to. Let's see. Over the last decade, property values have increased dramatically, with the total Valuation of real estate transactions in Bodrum rising from 892 million to 2.1 billion. Woof, woof, woof. Let's see, 100 million. It takes. Let's see, 892 million. Okay, so yeah, all right. So that's not too bad. It only doubled. That's not that bad. For a minute, I was thinking it was bigger a number because it takes 100 million to make a billion. And 66, the dollar bought 8 lira. A dollar bought 1.6 million lira. I say a dollar bought 1.6 million lira. 4 years later, 6 zeros were lopped off the lira, and a dollar equated to a dollar 129. Turkish lira today a dollar can be traded for 1.6 lira. Let's see. Government jiggery pokery with currency is a way of life in Turkey. Yeah. Let's see where that inflation number was. It was 160. Let's see if I can just show you that on the screen here. Bloomberg reports price inflation in Turkey was more than 60% in September, and 61.5% reading with released by Turkish government statistics. The article had something in there about it up to 160%. Either way, 60% is too much. That's an ugly number. Way too ugly. What else can we say? I guess that's about it. It's just unfortunately, that's the way Turkish is going. There it is. One knowledgeable Bodrum local confidently said that the actual inflation rate was more like 160%, the one I'm highlighting right there. That's just a statement by somebody that lives there. The national minimum wage was raised 34% in July, or $483. Labor minister, okay. Yeah, so anyway, minimum was raised 100% last year. Wow. Prices doubling like that are vicious. So, we talk about the experiment. It's an interesting experiment. We find it interesting, at least that's the way I think about it. I mean, I feel sorry for the population, of course, but this is an experiment in finance by the government now for like the last 8 years, and things have definitely gotten stranger and stranger from it. And there's no other way of describing it, just how strange that has all happened. So, all right, so let's put the Turkish lira up on the screen right there. And it's going after, like I said, I doubt this box right here. I feel like I should change it to like yellow or something, but this box right here shows when they raised interest rates from 12.5% to 25%. And obviously it's not working. Like here today, look at these last couple of days, it's losing against the lira again. It's not supposed to be doing that. Everybody else is gaining against the, let's put it this way, the lira is gaining. So, and all the pairs trades are gaining against the dollar. And normally the Turkish lira joins in with that, but not this time. It's playing with the all-time highs again, and it doesn't seem like it can let go. And so that's, that article alone today, which is nice because I hate to sound like I'm beating the country up. I don't want to do that. All I want to do is point out numbers, because we trust numbers more than we trust opinions and ideas when it comes to these politicians. Because when they say something, like Biden, I just mentioned to you, he's claiming he has created 14 million jobs, but since he's taken president, there's only 151,000 people working more than when he took presidency. So it's like, wait a second. How could you create 14 million new jobs if we only have 151,000 more working? Where did the other 13 million, the 13 million 850,000 go? Where did they go? Because they're not in the workforce. But Biden keeps on claiming that he has increased the workforce by that. So, all right, that's the Turkish lira, and the U.S. markets have the same issues on many ways. Battling with that same problem. Let me think. What else we got going on here? So from there, let's see. Let's see. We'll find it. Let's go over to. We go to the brick. That's right. We go to the number one brick in the world. And there it is right there. There's the brick. That is the South African rand. It's kind of unchanged today. Made a new low today, and now it's still dipping down. Looks like, let's see what's going on here. And it closed in the weekly sell last week, which was cool. Let's remove that. And let's put a line in there if we can find a line. There's a line. Let's steal this line. Put that right. Oh, put that line in there for last week. Liberty Bibbery. There it is. Yeah, it went into the sell right there. Broke through the manifold right there. So it's been in that weekly sell right from there, and confirmed it. It's in the sell, no problem. And when it breaks the manifold, normally it's about a 99% chance that it's going to close in the weekly sell. And sure enough, it did that. And you can see the daily sell has been going on now for, was it 3, 6, 7 days now. So when the South African rand is falling for 7 days, you would assume, we'll go take a look at it, but the gold is running back up again. Let's see. Let's go hunt it down. Right there. And right there. There's the gold. And as you can see, gold has been sideways. It's like big base being built. I keep on thinking we're going to see some type of surprise. We went to the buy on Friday. We're still in the buy right now, but it's, what's the best way to describe that? Just kind of sideways still. It's not really taking off. You would think with the let's put the South African rand up on J4X too. Right there. There we are. Yeah, with it going down like that, more than likely we usually see gold taking off. It did. It got into the buy on Friday. But it's like this big base being built up there. I don't think it's a reverse head and shoulders. I think it's more of a base. It's like a whole new plateau up there. Maybe it's, maybe it'll try to go after, inflation is firming up more and more and more. Every month the inflation number comes out and it looks a little bit worse than the month previously. So, you would think that gold and silver and so forth would lift up and, be challenging to that situation. All right, now let's put, as we sip our tea, let's take a look at the silver and see what the silver is looking like this morning. And there's silver. Same thing. It went into that buy on Friday, and it's back into the buy this week. It closed there last week. So, maybe we're going to go see that. Was that 25.5, 26 area again? It's been a little ornery about it, but it's got a possibility to lift up in that area. So, we're figuring that it'll come challenge this area again. And obviously, with the time of the year, usually jewelry is being bought and so forth. And as it's a gift-giving time of the year, and in different parts of the world. And so, what'll happen is there'll be some pressure on the metals complex somewhere on the upside. And there's the silver. Now we'll take a look at copper and see, because of China, we keep on thinking China is going to finally wake up to a little more capitalism than what it likes, but it's going to do it either way because it's necessary. And there's copper, and you can see copper today is still spiking up. It's been in a buy since here. Now the weekly is joining in this week, because we've been in a sell, back here for that 1 week. We went into a buy and went into a sell, and glided down. Let's see, move that over right there. Went into the daily sell there, and it started to break down below the zero line, and you saw the pressure on it, and the fast head broke the manifold here. There was lots of pressure, and then you got your little pop there. And we were then cleanly in the weekly sell, so you knew to sell again. And there's your sell there. And it gave us another little slide. And let's see, there's the spot where it says don't be short for a little bit. Don't get long though. And then again, there's your sell, another breakdown. I guess we're going to see copper at least get up into the 380s. That's what I would think. At least challenge that area. China has some cash reserves that it can lean on and maybe help prop up the country and the economy, because right now it's not looking very good. All right, now from there, and we'll put a little circly thing in here too, because we are playing with the weekly with no problem whatsoever. It's getting up to the manifold just on the first day, which says, wow, this thing might really take off. And look, if China starts to support their economy, then it could have a more positive influence even than what we've seen so far when it comes to the world stock markets. Copper right there. There we are. So there's the copper. Let's take a look at platinum. There's the platinum, and closed in that weekly buy. Looks very firm this morning, and it's been in that daily buy for what is that? That's 9 days now. It's been in the daily buy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, this is the 9th day. Down a little bit, nothing major. But then again, we're looking at gold kind of trying to stumble its way sideways. And, platinum, at least platinum did something very positive. It climbed into the weekly buy. We were really curious how they were going to get the rest of the metals complex to lift if we're not seeing platinum join in. All right. And that pretty much takes care of our metals. If anybody has a question about the metals, just shout it out. Then from there, we go over to the Canadian. Let's put it up on the screen. We'll take a look at Canadian and see what that's doing this morning. There is the dollar CAD, and it's gaining against the dollar also, which is usually a good sign when it comes to the oil market itself. So let's take a look at crude oil right there. You see West Texas Intermediate trying to lift up. It's off its highs today already, so we'll erase that. And then at the same time, let's take a look at Brent and see if what Brent is up to this morning. North Sea oil. And we're going to put that up on both the J4X, and we'll put it also up on our new beta platform. Let's see, crude oil. There it is. There it is. Trading at 85.57 and 62s are offered. See the same thing here. Just playing underneath the 86 area. You can see it's trying to climb up into the buy as we speak right there after 4 days in the sell. And you can see the weekly is being penetrated as we speak also. Right there. Oh, you can't see that. Let's do this. Move it over again like so. There we are. So there you go. You can see it there. It's trying to climb into the buy right there. You can see right here the weekly is being worked on as we speak. In other words, it's trying to get the buyers into there. And obviously West Texas Intermediate is not showing any of that whatsoever. It's heading for that second week of sell. And let's see, what else can we put up on there as we speak about this? And then you can see the Brent here, lots of selling going on, same thing, just like right over here, lots of pressure for like the last couple of weeks, pushing down, 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 and down. All right, now, let's see. From there, let's see what else can we do with that. All right, well, that's it for that. Let's go over to natural gas, and there's natural gas. Natural gas has been trying to fall down the last couple of days. Let's put it up on J4X too at the same time. Nat gas. Nat gas, nat gas, nat gas, nat gas. Huh. There it is right there. 331 or 3.31 with a bit of 3.327. So a little wide market there. It's still early in the month, so this is the front month contract. Let's put it up over here. There it is right there. We'll shift back over to that. You can see here it's just barely holding on. The weekly is being penetrated as we speak, so there's some pressure developing on the natural gas. We still have a lot of time to go. It's just a Monday. But interesting to see that pressure. You can see the daily is really taking a really hard chunk out of it. Big gap down. It's odd. Let's see if we can reset this thing. Let's see, settings. Right there. Right there. And it didn't change it any. So they're really putting some pressure onto the natural gas this morning with that gap down. And going into the winter months makes sense. We expect to see pressure on the upside. In this case here, it's tried to lift and failed, and now so here it tried to lift and it started failing, but it was stronger compared to this one right here. And then it failed, and then it lifted again, and now it's failed again. It keeps on failing, and it's in the buy. In this case here, the buy was all right. The buy here was not all right. It's basically well off its course and losing. And so the buy here was okay, but there's only been 3 buys, and 2 of them have been good, and 1 has been bad. Natural gas is going nowhere really to us in the States here. For Europe, it's so hard to see, but what we can do is we can go over and look at this. Energy company down in Spain, and their stock usually reflects the action we're seeing. So let's see how it looks right there. It is it's dropping in price also. It was almost 27 last week. It was matter of fact, it was 27 for a little bit. Now it's at 26.58. So we're seeing that pressure on it there. At the same time, we can put it up on our beta, because our beta has the ability to take a look at it. And there it is right there. It's been in the sell since back in here. And the weekly is still in a weekly buy, and we're waiting to see when it rolls over. It's not giving us that much comfort level that the natural gas in Europe is going to back off. I think it's going to stay here or go sideways up, like mild slope on the upside. I don't think we'll get past the 28s or anything like that, but it's acting like it could play the 27s along the line there. All right, and then from there, we go over to, where do we go from there? We go to, that's it. That's pretty much the energy. So we're done the energy. So what we can do now is we'll go take a look at, take a look at the stock indices. They seem to be stalled out, the stock indices. If anybody wants to see anything. Is it clear now? Yeah. Oh, that's good. Let's see, the gas, natural gas, there it is. All right. From there, we'll go over to the stock indices, and let's put in there. We can start off with the S&P 500. You see, it's kind of just smooth, hanging, going nowhere. And the daily buy now going on a 5th day, and the weekly closed in a confirmed weekly with like the rest of the stock indices, and we'll be showing you that, which is really cool. And we see the same thing. Let's put it up over here on J4X. And right there it is. There's the S&P 500 showing 5 days in the plus, trying to climb, and same situation over here. Let's put it on this right there. There it is there, showing 5 days in a buy on the beta, and our weekly is on a second week in a buy. And then you can see it here on the older platform that we use still. Doing the same thing. It's in a buy, a second week in a buy, 5 days in a buy. You know, it's the markets are seeing lower interest rates and thinking, well, you know, you gotta try to buy something in here, because if you don't have, you know, your big position on, and the markets go up, the investors get frustrated, and next thing you know, they're leaving you. I had some hedge funds that I worked along with that when they went down, their big investors would buy more, and when they went up, they would lighten up on their position, thinking that they could treat it like a stock by being invested in the hedge fund. And when the hedge fund actually lost a little money, they waited to the beginning of the next quarter, and they would come in and buy more, thinking, okay, well, they're not going to be losers forever. So, all right, and then from there we go over and take a look at the Tech 100, and there it is right there. Tech 100 doing the same thing, green for 5 days. And we're at the high end of the range, trading at 96? 96.5. Can only go to 100. Let's put it up on this. Right there. You see, same situation, been in a buy for 5 days. It closed in a weekly buy. We can get rid of that circly thing and put in the buy itself, like so. So we're seeing the Tech 100, which is representation of all the major consumer and technological companies that keep the economy flying along. Now, from there, let's take a look at the S&P 500. There's the December contract. Same situation. Oop. Let's widen that out. And at the same time, it jumped into the buy also last week. We'll throw that in there. So we have the stock indices, and I'm curious. I can't wait to get to Russell 2000 and Bitcoin to see what they're doing. There we are. And so you can see the strength in there. Same thing here. This is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So that strength is lifting there too. I mean, everybody's joining in. The bigger question is, are they going to let anybody out? That's the bigger question. In other words, are they going to sell it down and let the shorts try to be able to cover? And then, then they turn around, and the next thing you know is they are basically climbing up this mountain and not letting go. In other words, it's they've turned the corner here. Now the big question will be is how far will they go? How much confidence is there in the market? I say there must be a lot. All right, now from there we go over to the Russell 2000. And there's the Russell 2000. You see there we've climbed into a daily buy 4 days ago, and the weekly is trying its best to get going. You can see the fast is broken through. I think, matter of fact, did it close in a weekly buy? And I think it did, yes. So in the fast, it closed in a weekly buy last week. It looks like we're going to go play around between probably the 1825 area, get up to that. It's at 1769 at the moment. I would imagine we'll see some strength, and it just will keep on pushing in that direction. Let's see. And not there. I'm trying to put it up on the beta. I'm going to see what it looks like on beta. Well, we can do this too. Let's go over to here. It's on here somewhere. Let's see, there it is. RTY. There it is. And there is the beta. And the beta is showing it's, forcing itself into the buy there now. At the same time, you can see daily wise, it was in a buy for the last 4 days. And you can see that there, green dot, green dot, green dot for those 5 days actually. It's pushing up. It's not letting go either. From there, we'll go over and take a look at the London exchange. Here's the London exchange. And it's been sideways, but remember it started a couple of weeks ago. We saw the London and a few of the others, the Frankfurt and so forth. Let's see if we can amplify that. So there's a buy there, and the other one is a sell. So that's only 1 week in the buy. Now I think it was the DAX we saw. The DAX reflected buying, I think 2 weeks ago. Let's see, right there. There's DAX. And you can see there, 3 days in the buy. No, that's not in there yet either. So I think it was SPY. Let me just show you SPY. I think it actually went into the buy on the beta 2 weeks ago. Yeah. No. Maybe. Huh. Yeah. That's reflecting that it went into the buy 2 weeks ago. And it's not reflecting the today yet. And so this is a second week. We're going into a third week that way. And the same thing, I believe, with the QQQs. QQQs are doing the same thing. They're both going on the third week. They're showing strength here. They are not letting go of these products here. So the foreign exchanges are lifting. The domestic exchanges are lifting. We're seeing buying. And, they could go sideways a little bit in here. Digest a little bit and then trap more shorts thinking that, well, they don't back and fill, they'll have to buy again. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin. And here is the Bitcoin Cash itself. That's been in a buy for 10 weeks now. It's been looking very good. It slid into the sell last couple days. We're seeing those pressures on it. After being in buys for, back in here, we went into the buy. And then you can see it fell into the sell here for a day or two and then right back into the buy again. And now what we see is the last 2 days it's been playing with the sell. Let's see. Playing with the sell. And let me think. From there, let's see, where do we go from there? From there, we go to, and we'll find it in a second. We have that there. That's the, who are you? That's right, that's Bitcoin. So let's take a look at it over on on Chicago Quant too, and let's take a look at it on J4X. Matter of fact, let's take a look at there's the Russell too, showing that same strength right there. Up at the high end of its range also. Then from there, let's put Bitcoin in there. There that is. It's still lifting up firmly. Now that's interesting. Is that daily on that one is wrestling a little bit. Right there compared to, see, like that. You can see Friday closed back in the buy again, so that's fine. And today it looks like it's unchanged, maybe flat. But the cryptos are holding very well, and we don't expect to see them back off that fast. They like to go along or lead, and we talked about this when we saw all this action right here. And that's why we see the SPY, the ETFs of the S&P 500, and the ETF of the NASDAQ 100, which is the QQQ. Those two have been in buys now for 2 full weeks. This is the 3rd week they're starting now. And then, let's see, I had an idea where to go to from there. Let's see, we were looking at a couple of these stock indices. We looked at the cryptos. That's it right there. Okay, so the cryptos are not backing off any. And you can see there too, that same thing with the weekly is not, it's not even interested in backing off. It doesn't even remotely show any weakness whatsoever. All right, from there, we drift over to, where do we drift over to? From there, we go to, that's it. We're done with the stock indices. If anybody wants to see anything, just shout it out. We can always go back and look at something. So we're done the stock indices. We're done the energies. We're done the metals. We've done all those. And let's go show you. Let's show you what some of the computer the computer stocks and stocks in general, the tech stocks. Let's close that workspace, and let's put up Apple. I think it went into the weekly buy last week finally. Here it is here. I know it was in the daily buy, even with them, lifting it up and then knocking it down, and it's doing all that stuff. Let's put it up on the screen there. There it is, and let's put this up over there too, like so. And you can see there, as much as they tried to knock it down on the day of earnings, it's not getting knocked down. And we closed in a daily buy and a weekly buy. So this thing is showing real life. It went into the daily buy here, and it ripped up the next day. Then the following day, at the end of the day here, that was the knockdown. They knocked it down for Thursday after Wednesday night's earnings, and now you can see it looks very firm in there, and it's not backing away. And obviously we see the QQQs, we see the NASDAQ 100 all holding strength on the upside. So I'd imagine we'll see, if nothing else, money probably is hungry to get a little bit more of the position. They've been given great opportunity. I mean, we're looking at, let's see if we can put it up on here. Where's Apple at? Apple. I'm trying to find it on the beta. Apple. Not there. Huh. I could have sworn I had it on here, on the beta. Let's see who's dinging again. Let me just respond to this text. Okie doke, I'm back again. So from there, you see the Apple, and it's down a little bit today, nothing major. Looks okay here. You can see same thing going on with the Amazon. Amazon's showing a little weakness again today, but it's in the weekly buy for from last week right there. So this has been one interesting move from the 120 to the almost the 140 area. And so it was a nice move on a lot of these products. Now, I wanted to go back and look at Apple. and look at the all-time high. Let's see if we can find that. Where is it at here? Apple's all-time high is, you can see here, up around the 196 area. I think it broke the 200 area at one point. Made it like a $3 trillion company. I think that's what it was. So, just to see this thing making, was that something like 8-month lows, trying to go after them there, right in here, back in May of 23, this year. So May, June, July, August, September, October. In October, it made a 6-month low. And now we're turning back up, and that was around the 165 area. Yeah, 165. And now we're at 175, and now we're at 76 and change as we speak. Maybe we'll get back up to the 180, 185, maybe even 190 area, and then maybe it'll digest that. I would have a hard time believing that they don't go and protect those price areas. I really do. I think they'll be out there buying them. So, all right. From here, we're pretty much at the end, so we got to come up with a title today. Besides, I was late because of forgetting the time change. I guess we could say like last week's title. One of the last titles we put up on there. Let me see what it was. I think I was talking about the interest rates carrying stocks up, and I would have to say there is a steady short squeeze in equities around the world because of interest rates. That is really what's going on at this moment in time. So we will go with that. The interest rate factor. I don't see any questions coming in. Equity short squeeze. Squeeze from lower rates. I think that's really what it's coming down to. There we go. So that's the title of it today. So we're off. We will catch you all tomorrow at the new correct time of 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we will straighten this out. Sorry we were a little late this morning, but at least there's a good hour in there, if not more. So this is Doc from North America saying tune in tomorrow and we'll be able to take this whole market apart. Ta-ta for now. Happy trails to you until we meet again, which will be tomorrow. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders.